you got winning on this big game, Sunday Night Football for the NFC North and the number 1 seed? If you got the Lions winning, put L. If you got the Vikings winning, put V. In today's video, we got a lot to go over. We're going to be talking about Lions and Vikings, obviously. That's the biggest topic this week. We're starting today with it. Dan Campbell speaks upon the game last night and going forward. Power rankings heading to the final regular season. Lions actually went down in a couple. Playoff picture. What will the Lions look like if they win and lose? And of course, we're getting into that nasty NFC North with the Vikings. Let's go. Big matchup happening on Sunday Night Football. This could be the biggest regular season game in the history of the Detroit Lions franchise. It could be the same with the Minnesota Vikings. Two 14-2 teams colliding in the NFC North. It's unheard of. It doesn't happen. Lions are the best offense in football, putting up 33.3 points per game, going against a defense that is allowing 18.8, fourth in the NFL. Lions defense is giving up 20.8. That's ninth against the Minnesota Vikings, ninth-ranked offense that's putting up 26.4. Now you look at the Lions, the points per game is what is saving grace for this football team, and for at least the defense, and hopefully we get Alex Anzalone back for the game on Sunday. Big game again, Sunday Night Football, if you didn't know, if you lived under the rock. Right now, Lions are favored by 3 points. The total over and under is 52.5. I would take the over on that one as well. The underdogs is the Minnesota Vikings by 3. And it is the Sunday Night Football game. Now, with 3 points usually spotted for the home team. So what this means is they think this is an equal matchup coming in on Sunday. So again, who do you got winning this game? Do you got the Lions winning? Put L for Lions. If you got the Vikings winning, put V for Vikings. Let's go ahead and talk about Dan Campbell and what he said about, after the game, playing his starters. Dan Campbell says, I'm probably like you guys that were all here and woke up at 2 or whatever this was the morning. And yeah, it was on my mind. Campbell said, I thought about it a lot. I thought about it leading up to the game. I thought about it last night. I told the staff, but I ended up settling on the right thing to do and play these guys because we owed it to the team. There was nothing easy about this decision, Campbell said. There's a number of things you have to decide. We don't get to prepare for those other guys because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen for the first, second, and third down red zone leading up to this week. And, for example, he says Hendon Hooker's not getting those reps. Those are Jared Goff's reps because we don't know. That's just one example. So if it's not fair, I just don't believe it's fair to put in a guy that's not prepared to play, especially a young player. You can only sit 6 guys. So who's those you can sit? So you're going to sit 6, Campbell said, and you continue on with those other guys you don't know is fair. They're using anything that we've got. We flew out here. We prepared this way. We came to win, and that's ultimately what it came to. And yeah, you cross your fingers that nobody gets hurt. It's tough. And that's what we're fortunate. We got out, and now it's on to the next one. 100%. And he's talking about, playing those starters and, the risks and rewards for doing that. And there is risks. There is the risk for the Lions getting injured, but there's also risk as if they did rest their starters so they wouldn't be fully prepared for the game. That is a risk. Well, guess what? The Lions won the game with 0 injuries. So the risk is out. They did the right thing. They played. And I do believe playing because I do believe in the idea if you rest your starters way too much, it can hurt. And considering the fact resting them with another regular season game to go, it just seemed a little bit odd. And of course, even if the game meant nothing, I feel like on this upcoming Sunday, I think the Lions would have played their starters at least to the third quarter because of the bye week. So I think they did the absolute right thing, playing their starters. And I know we were hearing the broadcast, they're saying the defense is tired. The defense is tired, but what are you going to do? You're going to rest a handful of people? Because a lot of these guys are backups. So at the end of the day, a lot of these backups actually need reps. Jalen Reeves maybe needed those reps, right? Jack Campbell, I know he's not a backup, but you can't have nobody in there. We do have Ben Niemann, Jalen Reeves Maben, and some unknown guy, right? So you got to get these guys who are actually probably going to play in the playoffs in the regular season some of those reps, and that's just Jalen Reeves Maben, right? That's a Futu Melifonwu. So even though we didn't rest starters, we got valuable reps for players who hasn't played as much. and that's what we got to look forward to. And that was the risk that he took there. And I concur with the risk. I think it was the right decision, what they did. I think it was the right decision heading to this big Minnesota Vikings game on Sunday, because you play to win the game. And even in the preseason, yeah, wins and losses don't matter. We all know this, but everybody has a competitive edge. You want to win the game, right? That's just the way that it is. And the Lions destroyed a demon by beating Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Right? We've lost 14 straight to them before last night. That one's over. And it feels good to be number one in the NFC North, even though if it's just for a week. Because even though it was not even 24 hours when the Vikings took over, because the Vikings played on Sunday, it sucked seeing the Lions in the 5th seed on the graphics. So I like seeing the Lions at that number 1 seed right now. So again, big game on Sunday. Who do you got winning the game? L for Lions, V for Vikings. Well, let's talk a little bit about the injuries, because there's some players that potentially could be coming back, and it's really important. And none is more important than Alex Anzalone. He is the biggest guy that we got to look for, because if you look at the defense, we're going to talk about the takeaways here in a second, and there is some absolute takeaways, bad takeaways for this game. And one of the takeaways is not having our linebackers. Alex Anzalone is extremely pivotal. The moment that he went out, our defense has significantly taken a hit. Significantly. We can hold the fort down for a game or two, but now defenses are adjusting, or offenses are adjusting. Our defense is having problems. They keep biting on every single play action. It was ridiculous. I knew it was play action in the defense bit on play action. That's because we have players in there that are really not doing a good job at linebacker. And Alex Anzalone coming back is going to be huge. And I do think he plays on Sunday. That's going to be massive. And Jalen Reeves-Main will get another practice week, because he played horrible yesterday, but that was returning from injury. So hopefully he can get his game back to what it needs to be. Again, the NFC North is tough. The playoffs is going to be tough. Let's get into the playoff picture really quick and what it will look like if the Lions win or if they lose. First off, Lions are sitting at the number 1 seed. If the Detroit Lions win on Sunday, they will hold that number 1 seed, win the NFC North, get the bye week. That is the best case scenario. Philadelphia Eagles are locked at the number 2 seed. So that means Green Bay, who is going to be the 7th seed, will face the Philadelphia Eagles. And who knows who wins that game? I do think Philadelphia wins the game, right? I think Green Bay is just not that good. They're 0-5 against teams above I think it was a 10-win record, and the Philadelphia Eagles are better. LA Rams looks like they're winning their division right there. They'll be hosting the Washington Commanders in that game. I would have the Rams winning that game. I think Matthew Stafford is just the better quarterback. Now, here's the thing. The 4th seed is Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's not 6 and 7. I don't know why it's there. It's more, I think it's 9 wins. I didn't do the graphics there. It could be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Atlanta Falcons for the 4th seed. So Atlanta still, you have the ability to win that division. So we don't know. I have Tampa Bay winning it. I think Tampa Bay is just a better team. But the 5th seed would have to go to Tampa Bay or Atlanta. So in all honesty, the Lions would be favored in that game. I think Minnesota would be favored in that game as well. Even though, look, man, Tampa Bay, they can put up some offense. They can put up some points. So that is a scary game for Detroit, because that is one of the teams we lost to, and it'd be at their house. Even though Lions are road warriors, and when we lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers earlier this year, our offense was cheeks because we didn't play the starters in preseason. The offense is much better now. I think the Lions would put up a ton of points, even though the defense is really good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I still have. But I got the Lions winning. I have the Lions winning on Sunday. I have the Lions winning if they had to travel in a wild card spot. I do. That's what I got for this. I think that the Lions are just right now, they're just the better team. So give a score prediction in the game on Sunday Night Football, Lions and Vikings. What is your score prediction for this game? You got the Lions winning 40 to, 33. Whatever it is, let us know in the comments below. And again, we got to go one game at a time because we're waiting for our players to get back. Why the bye week means so much is all the players, we can come back and it's one last game that we have to play and let our defense rest. We need to get our players back, and they need all the rest in the world. So it's not even the traveling part. It's just we need to get to the divisional round. That's what we need to get to. You get Montgomery coming back. Khalif will be fully back. Like we're getting players back. And then if you win that game, and I think the Lions would win that game in the divisional round, I don't know who would come here. It would be the least of the seeding. So if the Lions were, say, to they have it, it would be the worst. So it would probably be Minnesota coming to Detroit again. Potentially that's what it could be, right? So that's what it would be. It'd be a fun matchup, I guess. It'd be the third matchup of the year, twice in Detroit if that occurs. Because I think that the Vikings could beat Tampa. But look, if Tampa wins, hey, I would prefer Tampa to come here than Minnesota. That's my personal preference. What do you guys think? Who would you rather face against? I would rather face against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then you get your revenge, right? Because I'm tired of facing the Minnesota Vikings. That's the prep I would do. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. With that said, folks, adios.